Mike Canton here with the Soul Pod. Amy Klein of Dormont Arts and Shelley Johansson of the Flood City Music Festival got together with me for the second installment in a series on how artists can succeed in the festival and concert market. Listen in. Amy and Shelley, thank you for getting back together with me to do another episode of the Soul Pod. So last time, I think our topic overall is success for musical acts when they come to perform at events that people like you produce. Um, so we're kind of looking at this two ways: getting the gig and then
Right.
maintaining a relationship. And we talked a lot about getting the gig and doing things like having good promotional photos, having your lineup the way it is today, making sure there's music for the producers to hear, etc. But this time we agreed we talk about relationship building. So I'm sure you two have been thinking about these thoughts. Shelley, you want to just get started?
Well, one thing that really helps build a relationship with our event anyway
Mm-hmm.
is when once someone is on our radar screen or they've been booked, if they talk it up, right? I mean, once
Right.
you're booked, you talk it up. You use your social media. That can be all the forms of social media, whatever you use. You put the date promptly on your website because, of course, you have a website and not just social media. You are actively helping to promote the event. That part is hugely important to an event like ours. I mean, everybody's marketing budget is limited.
Mm-hmm.
We book bands because we want their fans to come to the event. It is not only because of their fantastic talent. That is one reason. The other reason is that we hope that you come and you bring tons of people with you.
Yes. And
Yeah, and
I've heard, go
my
ahead, Amy, you were
oh,
about to say
sorry.
follow up. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
My follow up to that is to not only promote it. Sorry, not only for the bands to keep promoting it, but as I promote that you're coming to my event,
Mm-hmm.
and I tag you in those posts. The more you repost, the more I'm going to post about you, right? So if
Sure.
you're going to do the work, I'm going to keep letting you, right? I'm going to keep tagging you, knowing that you're going to post the next all the pictures that I asked you to send, all these great pictures I have of you. I want to use them. I'm not going to use them in one post. I'm going to post multiple times. But if you're going to push them out to your fans as well.
Yes.
And the other thing that that does for you, by the way, is that if you are demonstrating that you're on the ball, I have opportunities to do have interviews and things, place interviews and radio stuff. I'm going to choose the bands that are on the ball.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I'm going to choose the ones that are demonstrating that they have their acts together, that they're interested in being there, that they're excited about the event, and that they're gonna go on um, media and say good things about the event because
Mm-hmm.
ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want them to do, right?
Right. Right. And they respond to your emails in a thorough manner too. They are not,
Yes.
right. Don't just represent yourself well on the phone, but these interviews could be email interviews, right?
They
Send a
could.
list of questions, and the interviewer doesn't want just a yes or no answer. They want details. So send me details, and I read between the lines to know that you're a good communicator, and I will push you on to the next level if I can.
I'm going to prompt the two of you on some things that we talked about that really stuck with me before. One was making sure that you list your requirements before you get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, this is really important. When you're doing a festival, you have lots of events. So you're not the only one. There are a lot of people that we need to take care of. And so if you have your stage plot together, it's up to date. I mean, we have literally had drum sets set up and had somebody get on there and go, "Why'd you set up for a left-handed drummer?" It's like, well, because that's what's on your stage plot. Oh, well, that guy left a couple months ago. Fabulous.
Right.
I mean, in a festival setting, timing is really important. 5 minutes late really matters. So that kind of thing is just really frustrating. I mean, and the technical people have plenty to do, plenty of people to talk to. Um, Having the information in front of them along with a contact for whoever in your band handles tech, and having that person be responsive to questions.
Yes.
A follow-up thing is, I'm always in contact with bands. I absolutely do not mind questions, especially if it's a newish thing for your act to play a festival. You need some guidance, whatever. Save them all up and call me one time. You know,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep.
there have been times when acts that are really excited about it, and it comes from the right place, take up an awful lot of time, and that's challenging as you're moving towards the production of a big event.
um.
One thing I do when I'm booking bands is I tell them, like, I have a new festival coming up. It's not a stage. It's they're playing on the ground under a tent, right? And so I'm telling them, like, you have a 10 by 15 space, and you're playing from the street level. Whatever I need to tell them to make them understand how that space works. Well, if I tell you have 10 by 15, don't send me a plot for 10 by 30 or
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
or bigger, right? I know you're a 10-piece band, but you've got to make the space work. And so let's work together to make sure that we can make that happen. Don't be just understand and respect what I have to offer at this point.
Yes.
Right.
Logistics like food.
Logistics
Oh
like food,
God,
right. Right.
yes.
I mean, here's one. This is something that somebody did, and it was like over 10 years ago, and I'm still offended about it. Okay. Backstage at the festival, we provide catering, and we provide beer and soda and that type of thing. Some guy at the very bottom of the lineup was backstage packing his backpack with so-called free beers.
I
Those
know.
beers are not free, and we actually would like your friends to pay at the bar to
Yeah,
drink. We absolutely do want to provide hospitality for the band.
yeah.
But that does not extend to the band's, college roommate and all your buddies and whatever. I mean, don't do that. I mean, don't do that. I mean, you wouldn't do that if you were a guest anywhere else. You are a guest of the festival at that point. We are working together. We are thrilled to present you. Respect is important in that context.
Yeah. Well, and I make it my best attempt to buy you most of the things that I can find on your rider.
Right.
Don't show up and tell me again with this. The contract has changed, the band has changed, the needs have changed at the last minute. Send me on a wild goose chase for
Right.
some kind of like vegetarian halal something at 10 p.m. in Pittsburgh on a Thursday, right? We don't always have that.
Right.
Um, and then on top of that, don't this it's the same. Like, don't take everything on the bus when you're the first act, because there are other bands after you that also want to eat those Oreos or that,
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
that they asked for, right? It's silly things, but it's just it's respecting the space. And there are shows from my time in different promoters that I'll never forget. And I've reported to whoever was above me that at that point was in charge of booking these bands. And if you don't respect in this place, if you didn't respect the staff, the executive would not book you again. He was not
Mhm.
interested in working with a band that treated his team as their servants, right?
Yes.
We
Right.
were doing a lot of work for them and also doing other jobs at that point. And he would not book those acts again for quite a while.
So we've been griping, and I can tell you some of the things that I really do appreciate when
Mhm.
bands do.
Mhm.
I appreciate it when they come on stage and they are paying attention to what the sound professionals are telling them, because
Mhm.
sometimes we have issues where bands are too loud, and that is because the sound man is mixing to what the band is doing with their monitors and their stuff on stage. They kind of have to pay attention to the sound man because they know that space and they know what needs to be done. Be polite to the sound man. They're there to help you. Be polite to the festival staff. Shout outs from the stage to the festival and to people. Again, it's not about sucking up, but boy, if you're appreciating what's happening to you, and you say so, boy, that's great.
Yeah.
If the press interviews you, if you say something positive about the event, I can't even tell you how much that kind of thing is appreciated.
Yes.
These are the kinds of things that really, really help. One thing that I would really encourage you to do if you're playing a festival, If you have a gig that is down the road later that day and you got to get in the van and go, then by all means go. Otherwise, hang out. Go watch other bands, make
Mhm.
friends, sit in. Festivals love it when that happens.
Audiences love it too.
Yes.
Audiences absolutely love it. Oh my goodness. I mean, one time we had a situation where Billy Price sat in with Los Lobos. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
and it was exactly as epic as it sounds. I mean, that was great. Everyone loved it. And by the way, Billy is absolutely a master at everything I'm talking about here. Every time I put him in front of the media, when he plays in Johnstown, he talks about how fantastic our festival is and how much he loves playing here. Okay. And I'm sure that that is true because Billy is not, I mean, I'm sure that that is true, but boy, does that make me want to promote him even more than I
Yes,
would
sure.
anyway,
Oh
because
yeah.
I mean, he's fantastic. Who doesn't love Billy Price?
On
Yes.
top of thanking the festival, I would love it if my fans would thank the sponsors, right?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
Whoa,
sure, sure.
right? That one mention of that good burger they ate from that sponsor right up the
right.
street could that goes so
Right.
far.
And the
Sure.
So,
volunteers too, because I mean, there's a lot of
oh yeah,
people that, I mean, anytime you can like publicly thank the people that are involved in putting on those festivals and these events, that is something that is super, super, super appreciated.
oh yeah.
Another thing, just in terms of politeness, that isn't always obvious, club dates, it doesn't necessarily matter as much if you're on a little late and get off a little late. A festival, it matters a whole bunch. So when you play, you get on the stage, you get set up and you play your allotted time, and then get off the stage with all of your stuff before you start greeting your fans and everything else. Because
Okay.
there's somebody after you, they need to get set up. It needs to be done. There have been times that I have been stuck with people's stuff. I mean, random crash cymbals and chords and stuff that people left because they weren't paying enough attention. And it's exciting. I mean, the festival atmosphere is exciting. I can see how it happens, but um, be very careful about packing up your stuff and be very mindful of the schedule.
These
I mean,
are
you have these people on site, right? And the event
Mhm.
is happening, and there's a lot going on for organizers, because I mean, it is absolutely incredible. Some of the things that happen in festival settings when there are that many people that are that excited, having that good of a time, and music is happening and whatever. And then if bands, crazy things happen, right? And your job is to be helpful and to make the event a success, to help make the event a success. You are there. I mean, how can you not cause a problem should be the thing that you're asking yourself.
Sure,
How can
sure.
you cooperate and make this be a great experience for everyone? I mean, festivals. I really do want to emphasize, one of the things that I just love about producing the festival is that people invariably come up to me and they say, "Oh my goodness, I came to see band A, but then I saw band B, and oh my goodness, what a wonderful act."
Right.
Oh
This
yeah.
is your opportunity to get discovered by a whole bunch of people that otherwise might not come out to see your show. This is
Yes.
your opportunity to gain a whole new group of fans, a whole new group of supporters. You have the opportunity to wow people that maybe aren't even that interested in your genre.
Right.
And that, I think, is really, really neat. So I think festivals are really desirable gigs for bands for that reason.